Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. The Big 12 is absolutely insane this year. No one really knows what to expect from this conference heading into 2022. No one really knows. There's really no clear frontrunner. Is it Baylor, the reigning champions? Is it Oklahoma State, the team that fell inches short from being the reigning champions? Is it Oklahoma with a new head coach in Brent Venables? Is it Texas? Are they back? No one truly knows. And there's a good chance that every team within this conference, guys, could finish with at least 2 losses, if not more. That includes the champion. Simply put, guys, the Big 12 is unpredictable. And out of all the conferences we've predicted, obviously so far, and the ones we've yet to predict, the Big 12 was by far the most difficult. But we did it anyways. We did it anyways. And today, guys, we are here with our official Big 12 conference recap. So we are here to share the records that we've predicted for all 10 Big 12 teams, our projected conference standings, and who we have winning the conference in 2022. So let's go ahead and just take a look at it, guys, diving right on in. Again, remember, the top 2 teams in the conference go to the Big 12 championship game. There are no divisions here. At the top of the standings, we have Oklahoma and Baylor. Oklahoma coming in at 10-2, 7-2 in conference. Baylor coming in at 9-3, also 7-2 in conference. That lone non-conference loss, guys, coming on the road to BYU in week 2. And remember, if you want game-by-game predictions for all 10 of these teams, if you want deeper analysis for all 10 of these teams, go check out our Big 12 conference playlist or just find the individual videos for your team, and you're going to get everything you need to know and reasoning for all these picks. But Oklahoma and Baylor in the Big 12 championship, guys, we'll predict the winner of that at the end of this video. But that is who we have in our championship game. Baylor, of course, making their return trip to the championship game. Oklahoma falling just short last year, but we still have finishing first in the conference under first-year head coach Brent Venables. Right below Baylor, we have Oklahoma State coming in at 9-3, 6-3 in conference. So we have the Cowboys falling short by 1 game. Tying Baylor in the overall record, but not enough in the conference record. We do, as a matter of fact, have Baylor beating Oklahoma State earlier in the year. And that, that's in September. No one's thinking much about September, early October. No one's really thinking much about that at the time. That is a game that could ultimately decide who makes that Big 12 championship game. No doubt about it. So we do have Baylor winning that game. Oklahoma State and the Cowboys losing so much defensively, losing their defensive coordinator in Jim Knowles, and they're going to need more consistent and better play from Spencer Sanders if they want to try to win 10 or more games than they did last year and get back to that championship game. But they fall just short. Texas comes in at 4th, in at 8-4, also 6-3 in the conference, and I would say it's a pretty big turnaround for Steve Sarkisian. That's the funny thing with Texas, guys, is, for most teams around the country, if you go 5-7 in 1 year, and the next year you turn around and go 8-4, many would call you a hero. Many would say it's a drastic, amazing turnaround. But for Texas, 8-4 once again would be viewed as a disappointment for most Texas fans. They want to be contending for Big 12 titles. They want to be contending for playoff spots, and they're just not there yet. But the team should improve drastically, guys, enough where they are going to be in the hunt for that Big 12 title, enough where they're going to be a lot more competitive than they were last year. 8-4 for the Longhorns, guys. Quinn Ewers, Bijan Robinson, Xavier Worthy, one of the top trios of players in the country. The defense is the major concern. If they can take a step forward, Texas might find themselves in the top 2 of the Big 12 standings. So watch out for the Longhorns, guys. They're not back yet, but they're getting there. Kansas State coming in at 7-5. Yes, they have a worse conference record than West Virginia, but the overall record is going to give them that advantage there. So Kansas State coming in at 7-5. The Wildcats doing, for us, extremely well when it came to the transfer portal, bringing in Adrian Martinez in from Nebraska, a guy that had nearly 11,000 career offensive yards with the Cornhuskers. A team that we believe, if you're looking for a dark horse to make the Big 12 championship, it would be Kansas State. But the Wildcats are going to falter in a few games that maybe they shouldn't. Maybe against a game like Iowa State or TCU that's ultimately going to hold them back from taking that major next step under Chris Klieman. Still a shot at an 8-win season, but not enough to reach the top 2, top 3, but still enough to finish in the top half of the conference. Below them, West Virginia and Iowa State tied at 6-6, but West Virginia owning the tiebreaker due to not just head-to-head, but also clearly the conference record. Another team that many would view as a disappointment, West Virginia bringing in JT Daniels, the quarterback transfer from Georgia. A lot of people think that West Virginia, because of that, are going to win 8, 9, 10 games. And guys, that just simply isn't the case. The Mountaineers face a very difficult schedule, and one player is not going to change everything for Neil Brown's squad. But I do believe West Virginia finishes the year very strong enough to get to the postseason. Iowa State, same for them. They're going to try to finish strong to get back to their postseason. Went 7-5 in the regular season last year, was a major disappointment. Are now dealing with life without Brock Purdy or Breece Hall for the first time since 2018. The defense should remain strong. The offense will go through some growing pains. The ultimate goal for Matt Campbell and the Cyclones is just to rebuild this year, but rebuild while also still making their 6th straight bowl game. That is going to be the key for them. And then after that, guys, your bottom 3 of the Big 12, none of these teams going bowling. Which one of these is most surprising to you? Would it be Texas Tech, TCU, or Kansas? I'm sure many would say Texas Tech. A lot of people have lofty expectations for Joey McGuire in year 1. While the Red Raiders might have a fantastic offense, the defense is ultimately going to be their downfall. This is a Red Raiders team, guys, that was 119th versus the pass last year. And they face a lot of good quarterbacks in 2022, including Devin Leary at North Carolina State in the non-conference. So not just great quarterbacks within the Big 12, but great quarterbacks in the non-conference. Devin Leary and Clayton Tune at Houston. The road is going to be tough for Joey McGuire in year 1, but he's doing a great job recruiting, and Texas Tech will be built up under him very, very shortly, maybe as soon as next year. I just don't think the Red Raiders are ready to take off in year 1. Same goes for TCU. New head coach in Sonny Dykes. Don't think they're going to be able to make a bowl game this year, guys. Again, their defense was their weak point last year. Offense might be fantastic, whether it's Max Duggan or Chandler Morris under center. I don't think it's going to matter enough to get them to a bowl game, guys, because the defense will hold them back. TCU 5-7 overall for the 2nd year in a row. Going through some growing pains, as one would with a new coach. And then, guys, at the bottom of the Big 12, Kansas, who does get a conference victory for the 2nd year in a row. Who is that against? Going to have to go check out the Kansas video to find out. But we do have the Jayhawks going 3-9, which actually is an improvement from last year. The Jayhawks went 2-10 in 2021. Lone conference win was against Texas. This year we have them going 3-9, doing better in the non-conference, getting another conference win. Lance Leipold slowly but surely building a foundation in Lawrence and building up this Jayhawks team. Again, one of the biggest rebuilding projects in all of college football, and he is slowly getting them there. Just going to take some time. So those are your standings, guys. Again, we have a lot of changes in the Big 12 this year. New coach at Oklahoma, a new coach at Texas Tech and TCU. Changes on from personnel all across all these teams. The Big 12 just wildly unpredictable. We really don't know what to expect, which really is going to make this conference so fun to watch in 2022. Our conference championship, guys, like we mentioned earlier, Oklahoma versus Baylor. These two teams obviously will meet in the regular season in Norman. Oklahoma will get to host the Bears. Last year, Baylor beat Oklahoma, handed the Sooners their first loss of the year. That was in Waco. So they've split the last 2 meetings. Now they're going to be at a neutral site for the Big 12 title on the line. Neither team will be in the playoff hunt, but this is for a New Year's 6 bowl spot. Who's going to get the win? We believe that for the 2nd year in a row, Baylor will win the Big 12. We do believe that Dave Aranda and the Bears will win the Big 12 for the 2nd year in a row, clinch another 10-win season. Last year they won 12, 10 wins here, and we'll get back to a New Year's 6 bowl game. Baylor's defense, guys, is their strength. They are unbelievable defensively, loaded with talent. And I believe that maybe they won't be able to slow down Oklahoma in the regular season, but at a neutral site, when Oklahoma doesn't have home field advantage on their side, Baylor's defense is able to step up, make the plays when needed, and Baylor's offense is the one that's going to get better as the year goes on. May start slow, but they're going to be getting better and better as the year goes on, so long as Blake Shapen remains healthy. Last year, he torched Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship game. This year, he's going to torch another Oklahoma school in the Big 12 championship game. And in a close thriller, just like we saw a few years ago between the Sooners and the Bears, Baylor this time comes out on top, wins their 2nd straight Big 12 title, and caps off what will be a wild, unpredictable, crazy but fun Big 12 college football season. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below too, guys, including our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the country. Make sure to go sign up for those today. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.